It's khaki. 3 years ago, the day before Thanksgiving, I had gastric bypass. So, this is my 3 year Surgiversary. I wanted to talk today about the last 3 years, about how my life has changed, the challenges that I've faced, and what I'm excited about for the future. The day that I rolled into surgery, the morning that I rolled into surgery, I was not that scared. I think that my anxiety had changed to resolve. I was tired of living in the body that I had lived in for so long, feeling limited by my weight. It had become an effort to do even normal things like go up a flight of stairs, to enjoy the vacations that I was so fortunate to be able to take. I had tried pretty much you name it, just like most of us who undergo bariatric surgery. I had struggled with my weight since I was probably 8 years old. I think I went on my first diet when I was in elementary school. My mom and I did the Scarsdale diet, and she got special permission to come and check me out at lunchtime. We lived maybe a mile from my elementary school. And she would bring me home, and we would have a hamburger patty and cottage cheese, or a hamburger patty and sliced tomatoes, or tuna fish with no mayonnaise. I remember then feeling like obesity was inevitable and feeling powerless. As the years went on, I did it all. Weight Watchers, LA Weight Loss, Jenny Craig, the Diet Center, low carb, Atkins, low fat, the the cabbage soup diet, you name it, I tried it. I would be successful in losing a little bit of weight. At one point, I even lost 60 pounds on low carb, on basically Atkins. But then life happened and I gained it all back plus some. So when I decided to have gastric bypass surgery, I felt like it was my last chance at a healthy life. I was on multiple medications for pain, for osteoarthritis from the weight of all that excess weight I was carrying around. I was on two medications for my blood pressure. I was on a cholesterol medicine. And I thought, it's up to me at this point. I'll do this, and at least if things don't work out, I can say I tried. The day that I rolled into surgery, I weighed 269.2 pounds. Prior to that, I had done a 2 week liquid diet as required by my plan. The day I started my liquid diet, I weighed 284 pounds. When I woke up from surgery, I was in a little bit of pain, not too bad though. And when they rolled me up to my hospital room, I actually walked in and I got some work done that night. I had taken my laptop, so my pain level was minimal. I remember going home the next day on Thanksgiving Day, and my family had gotten together. I called my one of my sisters had stayed with me for a couple of days, and I called and talked to everybody, but I felt like, I'm going to be off this coming week or this coming weekend. That was of course on Thursday. So this is a perfect time. And I went back to work on Monday. That very first year, it was all about learning. It was all about learning my new lifestyle. I remember after my 2 week post op liquid diet, the very first food that I ate and being so frightened, was this going to make me sick? Was I going to vomit? How was it going to taste? And I remember taking just a couple of bites of egg, and that was all I could do, and thinking, oh wow, this is going to be the way it is forever. It's not. But I remember that feeling, and that feeling of, oh my God, this is going to work. Over the course of that year, things changed. I began to be able to eat more. I began to find my footing as a bariatric patient. At the end of the first year, on my 1 year Surgiversary, I weighed 158.2 pounds. So I had lost, gosh, I can't even calculate, 90 pounds since the day of surgery in that first year. I had watched so many videos and listened to so many podcasts of folks post op, and everybody I listened to said, make the most of that first year, learn new habits because the restriction will lessen. Those new habits and getting that weight off, making the most of that honeymoon period, you will never regret it, and I don't. I gave up a lot. I gave up. I don't think I think I drank a few cocktails over the course of the year. I gave up things that I really had formerly enjoyed, but in the end, it was worth it because I was able to gain so much. I remember my first out of the country vacation after I lost weight. I had lost about 80 pounds at that point. I was amazed. I was able to do things. I was able to keep up. I didn't feel like it was like I was a burden on the folks that I was with. The next year, year two, it was more about reinforcing those habits that I had learned, learning how to live in my new body. That first year, I had my first skin removal surgery. I had a arm lift and a tummy tuck after I had lost about 120 pounds. A lot of loose skin. I have videos about that. I remember when I had that surgery and I finally quit swelling. That was a whole different story. I remember how good I felt, and I still do. I was amazed. Then a little fear sets in. You feel so good. You've done so good. What if this goes away just like all the other weight loss efforts? So that second year, I was learning how to eat in maintenance and beginning to have a little bit of fear because probably about 15 to 16 months, the hunger came back. And I was having to learn how to deal with that again. Then, the end of the second year, beginning of the third, 1 year ago, I weighed 141.2 pounds. I was half the size I started out. That still astonishes me to think about. So, over the course of that third year, it was all about maintenance. And to be honest, a lot of fear, a lot of fear of regain. I have been very fearful of that. I have I weighed 141.2 pounds 1 year ago. This morning, I weighed 140.2 pounds. So I've lost maybe and maintained maybe a pound over the last year. I had gotten down to 134.9. I rebounded up a little bit to that 140.2. And I've come to believe that's where my body is comfortable. I am maintaining that. I think that is just where I'm supposed to be. At first, I was a little bit upset that I had regained or I had gotten 5 pounds over where my lowest was. But then I realized my measurements haven't changed. This is just where my body is meant to be. As far as clothes, when I went into surgery, I was wearing a size 22 pants and a 3X top or dress. I think I wore a 44 double D bra. Now I wear a size 8 pants, a size 8 dress, a medium top, everything. Everything has changed, and I feel so good. My job, Oh, and during that year, 1 year ago, it's also my 1 year surgiversary of my second skin removal surgery. I had a breast lift and a back lift 1 year ago when I was 2 years post op. So, in the last 3 years, I've had gastric bypass and two plastic surgeries, skin removals. Prior to this, I'd only had one surgery in my entire life, a little foot surgery. So, it's been a big change. My job as a 3 year post op is maintenance, is enjoying my new body, enjoying my health, and doing what I have to do to maintain it. I am not ruling out if at some point in time I need to take a GLP-1 to maintain where I'm at. That's okay. Obesity is a multifactorial disease. Mine is in remission right now, but if it comes back, I have tools I can use to fight it. I have consulted with a dietitian. I talked about that in previous videos. I'm continuing to do so. I am doing whatever I can to be proactive and to stay where I'm at in a healthy place. I have learned to love activity, especially Pilates, yoga, bar classes, walking, things I could not have done 3 years ago. It has just been a wonderful journey, and I would love to hear from you. Any questions that you've got, whether you're pre op, newly post op, in maintenance, I would love to hear what you would like me to talk about as somebody who is 3 years out from a gastric bypass. I still can remember like it was yesterday, those pre ops days, those early post op days, all the questions that I had. I'm here to answer them if I can. I hope everybody has a great week in the U.S. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. I will see you next week. Bye.